think there's a lot going on in this film.
The more outrageous the role, the more risky the situation, right? Johnny Depp found himself in danger repeatedly, whether he was getting trampled by horses, hit by cars, or swashbuckling. After you hear about these 15 dangerous scenes, you won't wonder why he used a stunt double so often. But before we dive in, you should probably subscribe to our new channel, The Things Animated, to get all the hidden secrets and unique theories behind your favorite animated movies and shows. Number 1. It's usually good advice, unless the plan is to get hit by a car, in which case the danger is inevitable. Depp was filming Mordecai in London, and he decided to take on a risky stunt himself. If you're gonna get hit by a car repeatedly, it might as well be a gorgeous Rolls Royce, right? Although the hood was still a pain to be bouncing off of over and over. Number 2. They weren't horsing around. Nothing was funny about Johnny Depp's horse co-stars on set, who wound up really putting him through the ringer. While filming The Lone Ranger, Depp was thrown from the horse, dragged across the desert by it, and he got a hoof stamp on his chest to remember it all. A giant hoof-shaped bruise was left on his chest, but the actor bounced back from the terrifying incident pretty quickly, looking on the bright side almost immediately when he said, "The positive thing is, my coccyx didn't take it." It was after this incident that he stepped back from the dangerous scenes a bit. Number 3. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Let them come to you. Depp did just that when he was filming his portion of Grindelwald's escape. This stunt saw the actors involved getting pelted with rain, and Johnny got it pretty bad. That said, he took it like a champ.
Johnny stood there and was hosed down and did everything fantastic.
Wanting the shots to look real meant putting the actors in a dangerous situation, with the waterfall blast hitting the actors as they tried to stay on top of the carriage. Considering how brutal this looks, we're surprised Depp didn't let a stunt double take over. Number 4. Safety is important, but it can do some damage of its own. To start off, this scene was wildly dangerous no matter how you looked at it. Being strapped onto a giant wheel that would roll while there was a fight happening on top of it? Not so fun. Depp managed to get through the stunt, but not without some serious injury. Nerve damage, anybody? Yep. Johnny was strapped in so tight that he actually got nerve damage in his foot. Number 5. You might not want to drink that. Filming in Venice should be a dream, but when your workplace is a risk to your health, well, the situation is a bit different. Depp learned this very quickly on set for The Tourist. Any scenes the actor filmed that saw him coming into contact with water, hello boat chase scene, were risky situations because of the pollution levels. Those beautiful Venetian canals looked great, but they were so polluted that every cast and crew member who was going to interact with water had to do antibiotics for weeks before filming to avoid getting sick. Number 6. It was hard to win this one. Captain Jack Sparrow managed to steal the interceptor, but it didn't happen so gracefully. Depp came face to face with a piece of wood that went flying once the ropes of the ships became unstable and started knocking everything else out of place, leading to some seriously dangerous chaos. Depp got a nasty bruise after being hit so hard by a piece of wood that he got knocked right out of the frame. It seems the wood wanted the spotlight. Number 7. Leather plus Florida heat? It's a bad situation. You'd think the Scissorhands would be the most dangerous part of Depp's Edward Scissorhands costume, but nope. It was his black leather outfit. Leather is hot to begin with. That combined with the Florida sun and Depp's intense performance, then you've got an actor in danger of a bad case of heat stroke. Depp fully collapsed when filming the scene that saw Edward running towards the mansion. Evidently, the cooling suit he had on underneath didn't really help him. Number 8. Johnny Depp worried he cut it a bit too close with Rickman on the Sweeney Todd set. Literally. While Rickman was the one with the blade at his neck, it was Depp that found the situation to be quite a traumatic experience. He explained, "Having worked with sharp objects before, everything was fine until I have to shave someone. The shaving cream made me really nervous. It was the most uncomfortable moment of my life. Looks like you won't be taking up being a barber anytime soon." Number 9. It's not as fun as you might think. Becoming a vampire is a real process, that's for sure. But who knew one of the biggest downsides could be vampire nails? No one on the set of Dark Shadows was envying Depp, who had to very carefully maneuver himself in any scene he was performing in, due to the dangerously long nails. The actor was constantly worried about stabbing himself or his fellow actors. He even required a full team to get to the washroom when in costume. The vampiric accessories were so tough, his nails and fingers actually needed some pretty serious TLC afterwards. Number 10. He had a need for speed. Johnny Depp doesn't always do stunts, but when he did, they were often car stunts. One of the most dangerous of all. No big deal. Public Enemies saw a wicked car chase, but one that carried risk nonetheless. Sure, there were security people around and trained drivers, but with such high action and speeds, well, it's never really a safe situation. And definitely not one someone would want to volunteer for. Number 11. Not a great place to swim. You might get a cavity while you're at it. Or in Johnny Depp's case, an allergic reaction. Tim Burton opted to use 192,000 gallons of fake melted chocolate to fill the rivers of Wonka's factory. The fear of getting stuck trying to swim out of the thick, freaky liquid was lower on Johnny Depp's worry list since the actor was allergic to chocolate. That's right, folks. Johnny couldn't indulge in the sweet treat as a child. However, as an adult, the allergy wasn't so bad, but it was still a pretty terrifying idea to come to terms with. He was literally surrounded by a surface that at one point could have made him feel real bad. Number 12. When swords are involved, it's never safe. Johnny Depp faced danger every time he started swashbuckling, and there was plenty of it throughout the Pirates movies.
Oh yeah, I had to go to sword school, yeah.
That said, when things got really risky, Johnny would step aside letting his stunt double perform.
Those enormous action sequences in the film dreamt up by Gore Verbinski and the writer Justin Hayth.
Considering how sharp and dangerous those blades could be, no wonder. Number 13. Looks cool. Safe? Not so much. Of all the risky positions he's been in, for Depp, one of the worst was filming his scenes inside a glass elevator. He had to be suspended very high up in the air, with seemingly nothing to hold him in. Sure, the large perspex box was safe enough, but he certainly didn't feel that way. Falling from there would have done some definite damage. Number 14. They're no joke. The last day of filming was brutal for everyone on City of Lies, with a whole lot to get done in a short period of time. But Depp might have had it the worst since he was extremely ill. We're talking fever, the sweats, whole package. A toothache turned out to be a tooth infection and left him sick for days. But he did make it to the last day on set, though it wasn't so safe for him to be there performing while feeling so awful. This definitely was not a celebratory last day. Filming any of his scenes was cause for concern.
Depp is ruining the film.
Number 15. It's getting cold in here. The sun might be shining bright, but that doesn't mean filming on the sea is always a warm place to be. Some days filming on the Pirates of the Caribbean set could get so frigid that it actually put those people being exposed in danger. Depp knew this was a serious problem, especially for the crew who didn't have the ability to be covered in layers of blankets while working the way the actor was. So he came up with a solution for everyone. Depp went ahead and bought state-of-the-art cool temperature jackets for all 500 crew members. Somehow, despite all the odds, Depp managed to come out of these dangerous situations mostly unscathed. A few pulled muscles and bruises are par for the course in this case, though. Which scene would you have been most intimidated to try yourself?